Picture this. A collection of stories, perfectly stitched together for you to indulge yourself. Every day for that matter, a sensory delicacy served to you at the same time, the same place until the end of time. Tune in to hear an array of folks, lined up, eager to share their narrations. So let's begin. Picture number 1. I stole from lockers in high school and someone else was blamed. Well, when I was in high school, me and a friend would skip class, hide in the bathroom with fake hall passes that I made. Well, we got bored, decide to walk around and do stuff or hang in the top floor stairway. So I noticed someone's locker was unlocked and a couple more were, so me and my friend stole stuff out of locker for almost every week for a month. We used to get money, vapes, candy, headphones and other stuff. It was fun until I overheard someone talking about how they got suspended for stealing out of lockers when they didn't even do it, and I felt really bad that he got blamed. And I even said to his face, "That's crazy, man, who would do something like that?" And I remember I heard people in my classrooms complaining about how their stuff went missing, and I would feel really guilty, so I stopped doing it. On screen now is picture number 2. I stole hundreds of dollars of product from a local grocery store I worked at. When I was 17, I worked at a grocery store for about 2 to 3 months. When I first started, they told me I would have 2 15-minute breaks and 1 30-minute lunch for every 8-hour shift I work. Every shift I had was 8 hours cause it was a summer job in between junior and senior year. When I first started, I had like $20, so on my breaks I would buy something to drink or a snack. Eventually I ran out of money before I got paid, and one day I worked a 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift, and by the time I got to my lunch break at 4 p.m. I was really hungry but had no money, so I discreetly took a lunch able and walked into the break room and just acted normal like I bought it. After I did this the one time, I realized how easily I got away with it, so the next day I did the same, except I did it for every break. I ended up doing this every day that I worked, for every break, even when I did have money to pay for the stuff. After a couple days I stopped getting small stuff and would take bigger things, but usually it was one thing per break. And eventually I started taking stuff home, like whole 12 packs of pop, without paying for them. OFC, thinking back on it I regret it, but at the time I made myself believe it was okay because the employees were treated very poorly, and that's why I ended up quitting when I did. Have a look at picture number 3. I've been stealing from Walmart at the self-checkout and I can't stop. This is totally out of character for me, and I know it's wrong. I am a middle-aged woman and this is my first foray at stealing. Just to put things into perspective, I'm talking a few items here and there, mostly personal and cosmetic stuff. No TVs or other expensive electronics. Nothing over $20. For those items I'm stealing, maybe 1 or 2 of my total. I just make the motion of scanning, yet keep them at just enough distance so that they actually blank scan. There are beeping sounds all around from others scanning. I generally do this when the employee manning the self-checkouts is preoccupied with helping other customers. My demeanor is calm, cool and collected. Overall, I pay for nearly everything, and the majority of times, all of it. Please know, I'm not making excuses, just describing my actions. Of course, in the beginning, I rationalized my stealing by telling myself that Walmart is an evil big corporation that treats its employees like blank, and or because there are no other registers open, the stolen items are my employee discount. Again, logically, I know what I'm doing is illegal, immoral and just plain wrong. Yet, I must confess that I get a charge out of it. It's like a challenge. No one checks receipts, and when exiting, I look the greeter in the eye, smile and respond to their good night. Likewise, they always make it a point to say, "Good night, have a good evening," or whatever. To my surprise, my friend, again, a middle-aged woman, recently confessed to me that she's blank doing this. I know I must stop, but it gives me a rush. I don't know why. I think it may have something to do with my life being mundane and boring. IDK. Spotlight on picture number 4. When I was in the 6th grade, I stole about $300 worth of books from my school book fair. So here's the background. I was a really lonely kid. I was a really late bloomer, so I was very chunky with not a ton of friends. However, I absolutely loved reading. It was pretty much my only escape at the time. I was never bullied because I was a big kid, but I didn't have many friends. I actually won the reading award in elementary 5/6 of a year blank you Jacob, you reading son of a blank. Anyways, my school had annual book fairs in which kids could go in and buy books, other stuff during recess and lunch hours. I remember asking my dad for money. My mom died of a drug overdose, so I was raised by a single dad. We were flat broke. I'm talking like the bottom of the barrel, trailer park poor. I had 2 pairs of shoes in 6 years. My dad gave me $5, and I didn't ask for more because I knew that money was tight. So, during one recess, I went into the library and asked what book I could get with $5. My librarian was a great lady. She always let me borrow more than 2 books, our allotted limit, and was overall just a fantastic human. She told me to follow her, and we went into her office where she kept a lot of the inventory for the book fair. All she said was, "Take what you want and tell absolutely nobody about this." I ended up taking around 15 to 20 books in a cardboard box that she gave me. I always felt really guilty about it, but at the time, it was about the best gift I had ever gotten. Now, I'm 23. I just graduated from college and am getting ready to start law school. I found out that my librarian, I won't share her name, passed away in April. It feels like a good time to finally come clean. At the mic is picture number 5. I switched the prices of the shoes so I could buy it cheaper. So I went to this cheap clothing store because I needed shoes last minute. I was young and only had a couple of money on me. So I was looking at the red shoes that fit my need but saw that the pink one was cheaper. It was the same shoes but with different color. There wasn't a price tag, it was basically a barcode sticker with the price on it. So I decided to switch the 2 stickers and went to the cashier. Much to my surprise, it actually worked. Waltzing in is picture number 6. I once copied a poem that was either on the Beano or Dandy comics, and I submitted it as homework. My teacher loved it so much that she made me read it out to the entire class. Said it was her favorite because it made her laugh and I got a massive sticker. That was a big deal. I never had the guts to own up to it 25 years later. Next up, picture number 7. I stole a final exam in 10th grade and sent pictures of it to everyone who took the class. Another kid had the same idea. He got caught and expelled, and I got away with it. And yeah, I am sorry, Andrew. I should have been expelled with you. Here lies picture number 8. Back in 1st grade I stole someone's coloring book and told my mum it was a prize. I know it's childish, but we had these little pigeonholes and someone put their coloring in book in mine accidentally. I then stole it and showed my mother and said it was one from the prize box. I feel really guilty about it even now. Have a look at picture number 9. Back in high school, I got a hold of my teacher's grade book. I was in my senior year of high school and needed the remaining math credit to be able to graduate. I've always been pretty bad when it came to math. It's gotten better these past few years, which placed me in intensive math my last year. I was already suffering from seniorities and trying to keep up with my other classes, and the last thing on my mind was failing this class and not graduating. Long story short, I got a hold of my teacher's login for the gradebook. Did the bare minimum in that class and always made sure to raise my grade when it would be anything lower than a C, just to make it believable and not raise any suspicions. Feast your eyes on picture number 10. I survived college through constant manipulation and drug selling. I've already graduated and no longer do this. When I entered college, I realized really quickly I couldn't afford to pay part of the rent, poor family, insurance for car, food, and other things I needed for college. Realistically speaking, I needed a constant couple hundreds of dollars a month. Around the time I started having money issues, my good friend introduced me into the wonderful world of Adderall. Personally, I never liked it, but it was a hot commodity and a great study drug. My friend told me the price per pill and my eyes widened. I knew what I had to do. I did a lot of research on ADHD and AD. I wanted to know the symptoms inside and out. My goal was simple. I would feed breadcrumbs to my doctor and lead her to diagnose me with AD. I came in with nothing but a dream and left with a script at the doctor's. Soon, I started selling it on the very lowdown. I'd sell it above market price and jack up the price per pill by 100% during exam season and finals. I only had 4 reliable buyers and another buyer in the outer ring. I told the buyers if anyone were to find out I sold, I'd automatically terminate our deals. I made hundreds of dollars per month thanks to it. I did this all the way until graduation and kept one constant buyer after graduating college.